I'm here to talk about my experience with arthritis.
Namaskar, I am Dr. Pankaj Naram and now we are in Nepal, Kathmandu. This is the same place where I was sitting with my master 36 years ago. And I had a very big problem in my own life. My mother, she was 60, could not walk, arthritis, toilet, bathroom on the bed. And I told my master I would like to learn this secret art and science which are thousands of years ago. These are the scriptures which my master gave me. They had so many formulas and so many secrets. But I wanted to see whether they are working or it is only written. And so I told, how can I help my mother? And he told me, go to your mother and press this marble here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you ask your mother, if you have got power to walk, what would you do? What would you be? Where would you go? And my mother said, I would like to go to Himalaya. Now my mother was not able to walk, toilet, bathroom on the bed. With the help of these scriptures, with the help of this marma, with the help of home remedy and herbal remedy, my mother lived up to more than 90 and went to Himalaya at the age of 82. So, one simple home remedy which can change your life. Ginger powder, quarter teaspoon, methi, fenugreek, half teaspoon, ajwain powder, half teaspoon, turmeric powder, half teaspoon, cow's ghee, 1 teaspoon, cinnamon powder, quarter teaspoon. First thing in the morning, mix it and take it first thing in the morning. And there are so many formulas I created from the scriptures, and they are known as joint secret formula. And my mother started walking. So today we are going to share with you a very powerful, inspiring, motivating story of a girl. Her name is Munira, and she was told by all the doctors that you will not be able to walk. And she is going to share with you her story. Munira, who has given this story in Germany, but she stays in Saudi Arabia. So now let us get inspired by Munira.
I'm here to talk about my experience with arthritis. I was diagnosed with arthritis last year, 2017. I was 29 years old, I'm 30 now. And people my age don't get arthritis. And it was a shock for everyone in my family because no one in my family, both my great-grandparents have lived to 100 and something. I've seen them. And none of them have bone problems or just no diseases at all. So I was the first one to get it in my family. So when I first had that, my parents were really terrified because 2017, February, my rheumatoid factor was 50. So I was on a wheelchair. It started with my right knee. So I thought it was an injury. And so I went to a doctor, I did an x-ray, my x-ray was fine. I could not bend my right knee, it was so painful. My doctor put me on Profane 400 mg and like I would take 3 pills a day, that was a big dose. I couldn't sleep at night, my right knee was hurting me. And then within a week, my left knee was hurting, my arm, my shoulder, and then I heard a crack on my jaw. And then within 1 week, I was just running some tests, x-ray and all that. And then my doctor, when I came to see him, after 1 week, I was on a wheelchair. And my doctor was terrified. He was like, okay, tell me exactly what happened in those 7 days. And then I started to tell him. And then he said, I'm afraid that since your jaw cracked, this is not an injury at the gym. I think you have an autoimmune system disease. Now, this is the first time I hear of that, so I don't even know what that is. And he's like, okay, we're going to transfer you to an arthritis rheumatoid doctor, and you're going to do some blood tests. Now, I was terrified at that moment because I'm really confused and I don't even know what arthritis is. Like they're pushing me on a wheelchair and I'm Googling, like rheumatoid, and I got so many diseases, like autoimmune system disease, and I'm like, what is that? And what do I have exactly? So at that moment, I was really terrified. And I did some blood tests, and the doctor said it's going to take a couple of days to get your results back. Here is some painkillers and anti-inflammatory. And during that time, until I got my test results, I can't change my own clothes. I can't get up. I can't walk. Sorry. I needed help to do everything. And my personality, I'm very outgoing and I'm very adventurous. And this felt like my life was over. And I was too young. Sorry. My sister and my mom had to change my clothes and take me to the bathroom and feed me. At that phase, I honestly just wanted my life to be over, because I thought, I can't live like this the rest of my life. This is really like a living hell to me. And when my doctor said I have arthritis, he said we needed to make other blood tests for lupus and whatnot. And I was just terrified, and I was getting one bad news after another. And then I said, what is the solution? And he said, it's chronic. And that's when I had a nervous breakdown. And then I told my doctor, so there is no healing process? I will be like this the rest of my life? And then he said, yeah, you will take some pills. We'll experience on pills. You will start with Plaquenil, and then we will take Metroxide or something, and then we will give you shots, and we'll see what works for you. And then you're going to have to check your liver, your kidneys, and you have to check, your hormones, because I had a hormone imbalance. So it was just too much for me, and I was just crying all the time. I did not want to wake up out of bed. I was just in bed all day. I'd open my eyes and cry every morning. How am I going to be like this? I can't move. I'm like this. My sister has to help me get up and feed me. I can't feed myself. And I felt like I was a burden, and I don't want to feel that way. Not me. So I was so upset, and I kept crying, and my father was in shock, and he's like, listen, we will send your papers, we will send it to Germany, we'll send it in the States, we know more doctors in the States, and we will see, it'll work out. We went to Dubai, he took me to Dubai for 1 week, just to change the environment and get another opinion, because we're still in shock. I went to Dubai and I saw another arthritis doctor, and she said, again, it's a chronic disease, and your life will be limited. I've hiked the Grand Canyon in 2007, and now you want me to limit my life? This is not how I want my life to be. So this whole time I kept telling myself, no, this is not my life. This is not going to be my life. If this is going to be my life, I don't want to live. And this whole time, my sister and my mother took turns to take care of me. And it was too much for them. I know they would carry me, and they would help me, get dressed and everything. And it was, and just that feeling, to wait for someone in the morning to help you get dressed or take a shower, that alone was really heartbreaking, I can't eat. I can't make my own coffee in the morning. I have to take permission for them to do it for me. And my father saw how this was really affecting me, so he got me a nurse. And every morning, my nurse would come in the morning and she would just help me do the things both my sister and my mom did. And I still thought, this is really terrible. And I was trying everything. I was reading. I was just lost and searching. There has to be a way out. This can't be chronic. And we went, my father knows I love to go to Disney. So last summer he took me to Disney World. And my father just wants me to forget. So we had an appointment at Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale. And the first month I went with my other babysitter in Disney. And I had medications, really strong medications. And even with the strong medications, I got side effects. My period was not on time. It was messing up. And I felt nauseous most of the time. So they gave me a side effect for that, which is folic acid. And every time I'd get like attacks, I would feel like I'm gonna throw up, I'm sorry, but then there's nothing there, and it just messed up my day. Every morning I would just take a break and go like, oh, I just feel like throwing up, and there's nothing there. And then and then I would tell I don't want to ruin her vacation, so I'm like, let's just go play, And then I went to Mayo Clinic, and then they gave me birth control pills.
Oh, God.
So I'm on more and more and more medication, and it just felt endless. And then I asked the doctor there in the States, I said, what is the chances of me completely healing from arthritis? I don't want to have this anymore. And he said, 5%, maybe even less. And then I said, so you're saying I'm going to have this forever? And he said, yes. And then I was like, okay, let's think differently. If I'm going to have this forever, what are the side effects of my medication? He said, first of all, this medicine, this dose is very strong, so you can't have children because it affects you having, babies. And that was another problem I had to deal with. I'm like, what? I can't, I'm not even married, but I plan to. So I can't have kids. I can't, go on in life and have my adventures and explore the world. I can't, it's too much rules. So I still was not accepting it. And in my head, and I know that if I said this to someone, people think I'm crazy. But at that moment, I thought, maybe I will be one of the 5%. It's a very little chance. And I know that if I said it to my doctor would think I'm crazy. So I kept it to myself. We went to Los Angeles because I love the shopping there. And I was at the beach. And then I was sitting at the beach, and then I was thinking, I was at Santa Monica Beach. And then in our religion, it says that you need to accept everything. But I will tell you that when they told me I had arthritis in February, March, April, May, I was angry. I was not accepting. I was really angry. I was really depressed. And I always asked God, why me? Why me? Why not anyone else? And then in June, I remember before I went to the States, I was sitting with my grandmother crying, and she told me, you need to accept and let go. And she said, this is a very important factor in our religion. And I said, how do I accept this? I don't know how. I'm like, I don't like this. How do I accept it? And she said, you have to accept it. And you have to thank God for this. And, to me, this was confusing. I'm like, how do I thank God for a disease? And then she said, thank God and accept it. And along the way, you will get better. And you will see why you have this. This will make you stronger. And that's the last thing my grandmother told me. And that's when I went to the States. Now back to Santa Monica. I was sitting at the beach, and then I was actually talking to God. It wasn't an Islamic prayer. I was just talking. And then I said, okay, I'm in this situation where I don't know why this is happening to me. Every day I'm learning something about the disease. I don't know why me, but I'm okay with it.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why me, but I'm okay with it. And I accept it now. And now I have two options. Either I defeat this or it will defeat me. And God, I need your help to defeat it. And then 3 days, I was on a road trip after that, I was on a road trip with my godfather, Uncle Chuck, and we were going to Las Vegas. And then he said, Munira, I want to tell you about a doctor called Naram. 3 days after accepting it, he and Aunt Katie were going through problems. He was having headaches, his hair was falling out, and he was having pain from time to time in his right hand, and he was feeling fatigue, like there's no energy. And he was taking so many pills for that. And they called Dr. Naram for his wife, because Aunt Katie had also other problems. And it turns out that there were a lot of toxins in her body, and she was just feeling dizzy all the time. You know when you just wake up in the morning and you don't have energy to do anything? That's how she felt. So they both did it as a detoxing program with him. And then he said, Uncle Chuck said, I just wanted my hand and my hair to stop falling. Within 3 months, my hand stopped hurting. My hair was actually growing back. And I gained more than what I wanted. Like I just wanted my hand to stop hurting, but then I have more energy. And then, what the doctors usually tell us, that when you get older, you lose energy and start to become old, but then Dr. Naram is like, no, there's no limit. You don't have to think that when you get old, you're supposed to have problems. And I really like that. He said, I'd wake up in the morning, I have more energy, I don't need coffee, I'm on my best health and my best time. And I was like, okay, I need that. And then my father called Dr. Naram, and he said, my daughter has arthritis, and we want to see you, and we don't know how it's done. And then Dr. Naram sent me a very long email, and then he said, I will send her 3 medication, and I want her to read the email.
And by medication, these herbal supplements.
Yes, and a very long email, and she should read it. Now, when I checked my email, there are lots of rules, and I thought, okay, I'm going to give up a lot of food that I thought was healthy for me, and I was eating it my whole life. And at the beginning, I did not know why I need to give up these food, but I'm like, let's just try it. I came back to Tucson, Arizona after my fun trip in Vegas, and then I started to take this seriously. I got the herbs that Dr. Naram sent me. Now at that time, I still don't know how good am I gonna get. I still don't know what to expect, so I'm just trying it. So I started this, it's almost vegan diet, and then I was taking all the supplements, and within 1 month, I stopped feeling nauseous. I don't feel the stomach pain that I'm getting from time to time. I was sleeping better, because I would wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, and I thought, okay, this is really strange. And then I went back to Saudi Arabia, and I had my appointment with my doctor. Now, when I got my arthritis in February, every few months, the rheumatoid factor was getting higher. I was not getting better. The minute I started his supplements in the food diet, yes, go ahead.
Did you stop all the medication then?
No.
Or do you have the medication?
I still
and
took the
herbs?
medication from the hospital, which is Arcoxia. It's anti-inflammatory. Metrixate, is it called? Metrixate, yeah, that one. And I would take this like 5 pills a week. And then throughout the week, of course, I would take my birth control pills daily, and I would take the folic acid twice a week. So all of these medication with the herbs of Dr. Naram and his new food diet. And then for the first time after taking his medication, his herbs, the rheumatoid factor dropped a little. And to me that was a miracle. Like, I could not believe it. And I finally felt, I'm like, oh my God, there is hope. I can get better. If I can drop it, then I can drop it even more. And then I went back home. I was telling my father, look at the papers. My doctor's so happy. He can't believe it. And he said, okay, what changed? I'm like, the herbs I got and the food diet. And then my father said, okay, go to his website and see where he is and book an appointment with him. And then I called him. And at that time, he was in Italy. And then I called and we booked an appointment in Italy, and then we flew to Italy and we met Dr. Giovanni. Thank you so much for having us. And we saw Dr. Naram. And when we first met him, my father at first did not believe this, but he has seen results, so he wants to know more, so he came with me. And Dr. Naram saw me, and this is the first doctor that said, you can be better and you can go back to normal again. And to me, that was a relief. It's like a big load just fell off my heart. And I was so happy. And then he took my pulse and he wrote his notes. This is his notes when I met him in Italy. This is my pulse reading, first pulse reading. And then he said, go to India and stay there. And he said, what is your goal? And I said, my goal is to get off medication. The drugs that I'm taking that is causing me so much pain. And he said, what else? And I said, I want to go back to normal and go back to traveling the world and making adventures and just, meeting new people and just being me again. And then he said, that will happen. And so he checked, he did everything, and then I booked an appointment in India. And I stayed in India for 2 months and a half for a full detox program. And after 5 weeks of the detox, every week I had a plan of decreasing my medication 1 pill, because I have 5 pills a week. And then every week I'm taking 1 less pill. And then the week that I'm supposed to take no pills at all, I had to document that because I was so happy. And I was like, okay, so this is the last week. I'm taking this medicine. And I'm going to take this 1 pill and I'm going to throw the medicines and never look back at it again. And I did it. And I was so happy. Yes. And then I wanted to come here and share it with all of you. So you know that there is hope. And if you believe in it, it will happen. And I really hope this inspires you to just get over all the diseases, the chronic diseases that the doctors told you that you will be like this forever. I just want you to know that it dropped from 50 to 4.7 in 1 year. The doctors in India said 3 years, but I did it in 1 year. And I want you all to know that this is possible.
If you have a problem like Munira, I invite you to use those home remedies, herbal remedies, and And now I would like to share with you one special marma. If you have got rheumatoid arthritis and your back is hurting, a very special new marma. So between these two, you go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will help you to make your joints better. This will help you to make your back better. And castor oil 1 teaspoon, cinnamon powder 1/8 teaspoon, saffron 1 pinch at night before you sleep. And vibrant detox formula, about 2 to 6, 7, 8, 9 tablets. Lot of toxins and poisons will come out. And joint secret formula, don't forget. If there is any question about rheumatoid arthritis, and if you want to walk, and if you want to enjoy life like Munira till you are 90, 95, you can write to me. I will help you. I love you all. Namaskar.